be there. نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي والصحيح نكاح مبارك نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, and welcome back to the final episode where we'll take home, inshallah, give you a lesson learned about the happily ever after. May Allah subhanahu jalla fi'ala make you happy in this life and happier in the hereafter. Ameen, and make our homes a home sweet home, inshallah. We talked about a lot in this series. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us and make it purely for His sake, and make us among those who listen to speech and follow the best of it. We talked about the rights and duties and all of these things and the secrets and how to choose and be proactive and not reactive. And even we talked about the most sensitive issues and all of these issues that we talk about. Today I want to take you on the negative first before we go into positive, alhamdulillah. We will finish with that, inshallah. But today I want to talk about what kind of marriages they are and what the top reasons for divorce are and how to prevent that from happening and how to stay and give you the hints of having a lovely marriage that you will have a positive finish, inshallah. So you stay with the positive. And inshallah, may Allah help us to finish all of this within time, inshallah, and may ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, to make dua for this poor slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to use me for His da'wah, to use me for His deen, to give us sincerity and accept from us. Ameen wa akhir da'wan, alhamdulillah. Today, ukhti and akhi, we will talk about the different types of marriages and what they are. And I'm going to ask you, you listen to what types of marriage they are and grade yourself earlier on. Now I want you to identify yourself now. Where do you fit in? And it will tell you the best case scenario, really. Okay, so there are some different types of marriages. One of them is the cake marriage. You know what a cake marriage is? You know, have you heard when you say, you know what, I want my cake, eat it too. You want your cake and eat it too. And believe me, and I'm doing my best to keep this a family show, wallahi. But again, these are issues I can't avoid because these are what happens. And you tell me, Muslims do that? Yes, akhi, Muslims do that. Subhanallah. Yes, not a practicing Muslim. They're still Muslims, but not a practicing one. May Allah guide us all back and guide us all back to the straight path. Ya Rabb, Ameen. And heal us from the illness of the heart and whims and desires. So the cake marriage is the one that has this cake and eats it too, which means the man is married, but he fornicates. Waliyadu billahi Rabbil Alameen. Or even, the other side, the woman is married and she also fornicates. Waliyadu bi Rabbil Alameen. Look, I get the phone calls, I talk with the couple, I deal with these issues. These are true things. Don't tell me, no, this is the figment of the imagination. Akhi and ukhti, I'm telling you, this is just the areas where we have to do. This is one type of marriage that the sister is so afraid, if her husband is going to divorce her, or you know what, go ahead, do your, wal'iyadu billahi rabbil alameen, and the brother doesn't fear Allah subhanahu jalla fi'ula, and doesn't want to heed to the Quran and Sunnah, and then, that has fornications outside of marriage, and wal'iyadu billah, even the sister has fornications outside of marriage, and they haven't heard that on Judgment Day, if you're married, muhsan, you are married, you're protected, and you have fornication outside of marriage, what happens on Judgment Day? You will be given a choice, eating from a beautiful type of food or a stinking, rotten aroma food. You have a choice. You will be leaving the beautiful food in Jannah that you left behind, and you will be eating a stinking, rotten, dirty aroma food in hellfire. How could you choose this over that? And I mean choose, akhi and ukhti. This is your choice. Don't tell me somebody twisted my arm and done that for me. Allahu Akbar. Or do you want to be sleeping on your stomach in the hellfire? Is that what you want? Is that worth it for you? Listen, I'm going to tell you the negative first. Inshallah, we'll finish on a positive because it's an amana. We're dealing with these issues. And all I'm trying to tell you, akhi, I'm going to give you something tangible, okay? Because when we talk to our mashayikh and we talk to our teachers, they say, you know why? It's because they have no tangible example for them. They don't know. They're so far away. Their iman is so weak and they don't see it. They can't actually relate to it. So I tell the brother, okay, my brother, do me a favor. If you want to fornicate, I'm not giving you the green light, but if you are going to fornicate, I want you to think of something. Waliyadu billah, may Allah protect you from that. Ameen. So I want you to think the same time that you're going to spend with this significant other, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep them away from us and keep us away from them. Ameen. I want you to time it, how much time that you had this pleasure with, I'm not going to say pleasure, this pleasure with, I want you to spend the same exact time in this tandoori oven, okay? You know the tandoori oven? You know the big ovens that you throw bread in and Allahu musta'an. So will you do it? You will not do it, no matter how much this sister is beautiful, how man is attractive or whatever it is. Because now you can, it's tangible for you. So please come back to Allah. Repent, ya akhi and ukhti. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us all. وَالتَّائِبْ مِنَ الذَّنْبِ كَمَنْ لَا ذَنْبَ لَهُ. If you repent from a sin as if you had none. So please come back. It's never too late, and never despair of Allah's mercy. What else is there? What other types of marriage is there? It's called the mush marriage. The mush-up marriage. You know what that means? Samak laban tamr hindi. Everything, anything goes. You know, you take him, his aspects and attributes, and he takes your aspects and attributes, and it's like everything is mushed together. There is no rules and regulations. You change character. You play his roles, and he plays your roles. There's nothing there is clear. And if out of fear, you stay with each other. SubhanAllah. That's the mush-up marriage. You know, it's all, everything is mushed up. Does that sound familiar? Is that what you see in yourself? Is that what you, subhanAllah, you know, you're fearing of this? No, you shouldn't. So they have no individual whatsoever. Everything is, you know, rule and regulation are together. You're so on and so forth. That may not be very healthy in the long run. There's also something called the business marriage. You know what the business marriage is? It's business. That means I've sold my daughter to the highest bidder. And I mean what I said. I sold my daughter to the highest bidder. Not the righteous man. No, no, no. Akhi and ukhti. We don't sell our daughters. We buy the man. So this business marriage, you only married this man because he was just rich. Or you know what business marriage also can mean? It's business. You know what? I want this marriage so I can have kids. It's just between us. The relationship is no intimate relations in a way that is so emotional, so spiritual. No bond, no friendship. Nothing there that is actually eloquent between the two of you. No lovely exchange of words or love between the two of you. It's business. You know what? I'm your roommate. You know what happens? I pay these bills, you pay these bills. All we want is we want to have kids. I need you, you need me. It's business. Ya ilahi. Wallahi, may Allah help you if you're in that relationship. Don't worry, I'll give you solutions, inshallah. Okay, so what other marriages are today? This is called the mummy marriage, right? The mummy marriage. It has different things. The mummy marriage is simple. You know, the wife, mummy's the husband, and the husband just, you know, becomes the child. He becomes to tell him, you know, what to do, what not to do, and that's it. The husband is now, yes, mommy, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-ali al-azim. And the woman becomes, you know, I don't want to, you know, yeah, yes, master, yes, sir. Yeah, ukhti, listen, we know that you do that, you make decisions. We know that, wallahi, we know. Like, look, I talk to the brothers, I'm honest. I say, you know, outside men, you say, I'm the man. I'm the man, who's the man? I'm the man. Yeah, I get my wife straight and, you know, and when we go home, what do we do, man? Meow. Now look, ukhti, I'm asking you for a favor. Let us dream and fantasize that we are the man. We are the king in our castle. And we are the lion in our jungle. We know that. You can't tell me that you're acting like a man. And I said, please understand that there is a hadith that says, La'an Allah. Allah curses a man that acts like a woman and a woman that acts like a man. So this mummy marriage is not very healthy, ukhti. And again, akhi, please don't mean a mama's boy. You know what I mean? You know, this is a relationship between me and my wife. Mama, what do you think? Mama, what do you think? Amma, what do you think? SubhanAllah. This mommy marriage is not a very healthy one. Okay, so what else is there? We have something else as called the double car garage. Now, in my opinion, that's my favorite and it's the healthiest marriage ever. The double car garage is you have two doors individual but together. That means they have their own friends, their own habits, their own events, their own life, their own everything. They are confident enough in each other to give each other individualism. But also flex enough that they love one another, that they can share a few things together. In my opinion, that's one of the best marriage. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Now, convenient marriage It is out of its name, you know what it is. It's just convenient for me. So I want I want to leave this house, the miserable family I'm in, or I want to leave whatever back home that is. I just want to go outside and live in that beautiful country in the West. And it's convenient for me. So what is it? It is now, we call it a paper marriage. Paper marriage. I want to get my paper. Ukhti, akhi. It's an amana. Amana. Remember that. Now, if your intention is that, may Allah help you, because on Judgment Day you'll be held accountable for that. So, ukhti and akhi, and I've dealt with this. Wallahi, the brother comes from back home, or the sister comes from back home, whatever back home is, and they get whatever the paper they want, and they're out of there. They divorce their wife or their husband, and they get the lawyers in, and it's ugly. It's ugly. Very bad news, wallahi. So, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, look at what kind of marriage you're in. Of course, there's more, but I'm just trying to tell you here's the most common ones, and the ones that are, the things that are very dry. The one that is a fear marriage, you're just fear of separation or fear of being alone. You're tolerant to one another for the simple fact that, you know what? You have kids, it's qadar, and I have nothing to do with this man. I have nothing to do with this woman. What we share between one another is our kids, and that's all to the extent of this relationship. Otherwise, I hate his guts, I hate her guts, subhanAllah, and it's very, very unhealthy relationship, especially for your children. If you think you're doing them a favor, may Allah help you, inshallah. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the 3 A's. The 3 A's, okay? The 3 A's are simple. 1, avoid. 2, alter. 3, accept. I usually tell the couples, before you think of a divorce, the D word, the D factor, may Allah help us with that, protect us from that. You have to think of 3 things. The 3 A's. Then I will give you alternatives. The first A is avoid. Avoid meaning the root cause analysis. We went through the 5 whys. Now I know the root cause of our misery is 1, 2, 3. Now the number 1 reason to protect your family and to protect your home is called root cause analysis, which is engineering change, which is the best to remove the cause for your misery out, period. You don't have to worry about anything else. Let me explain to you what that means. This is called the engineering change. For example, if you have ukhti, your oven away from your serving table, for example, right? When you take the food from there and you put it on the table, the oil drops on the floor and it becomes a slip hazard. Now, avoiding this now is to put your table next to your oven, or the oven next to the table, either or. That's the best way. It alleviates the problem from the source. So if it's either your mother-in-law, either financial, or it's either sex, it's either whatever it is, the top reasons, and there's more, avoid that. Avoid that. Number 2 is alter it. Okay, listen. If it's the mother-in-law, if it's financial, or if it's intimate relations, or whatever it may be, and the list is coming, inshallah. Listen, I don't have to visit my mother-in-law, but you can go, because it's an obligation for you to go visit your mother. It's not. But you have to be understanding now. And again, if they ask why she's not there, well, you have to respect me through respecting her. If that's the case, khalas, alhamdulillah, at least save the marriage. Lest they're both evils. And if that's the case, please note that there is more to come, inshallah, your way. But you have to stay after the break in order for us to seal this deal. Please stay with us. We'll see you after the break. Jazakumullah anna khairan for your patience and your time. And again, inviting us into your homes. We will see you after the break. Please stay tuned.
The true and faithful servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Some faces in the day of resurrection will beam in brightness.
Their qualities, their characteristics.
الذين آمنوا, those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله.
Sheikh Saeed Al-Ghadi.
And their hearts find tranquility and rest by remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Can we be one of them?
Indeed, by remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hearts find rest and tranquility.
Welcome to a brand new series, The Servants of Allah,
Hisham Bella,
which inshallah ta'ala will focus on those issues which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves.
Let's learn how and what gains us the favor and pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Servants of Allah. Every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 3:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV.
Tawheed is Noah's Ark. Whoever embarks will be delivered, and whoever refuses will be among the losers. Tawheed is the key of paradise and the only way to salvation. To attain eternal bliss, to attain never-ending life, get in on the ark, hold on tight, and never let go.
Watch as Sheikh Salim Al-Amri explains the basics of Islamic belief and worship in Back to Basics every Thursday at 10 p.m. and repeat telecast at 10 a.m. UK on Peace TV. Marriage or divorce?
What's Islamic ruling?
Nikah.
Solution or problem? Heaven or hell?
There is a misconception.
You choose. Beauty, wealth, family status, virtue. Decide what you want. Decide your choice. Be sad or be happy. It's your choice. Join Dr. Zakir Naik in Better Half or Bitter Half every Friday at 6:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 9:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV. Peace TV presents over 100 million viewers at one of the largest peace conferences in the world, addressing a sea of spellbound spectators. Over 30 world-renowned orators on Islam with credentials impeccable.
The truth of Islam.
Deen is your way of life. It is our duty, our obligation. By following the Quran and Sunnah, we will give the message to one and all.
With articulation exquisite.
Read the book of Allah.
Islam is the easy way. It's the simple way.
Remind each other.
The Muslim is not a source of harm for other people.
Collaborate with the people for good.
This is the call of Islam.
The mission of spreading the truth of Islam.
Do what you can to spread the word of Islam.
Wherever we are,
live like Muslims.
Use your power.
Allah is saying, why do you need anything else? This Quran is self-sufficient.
The only book on the face of the globe, the Quran.
How a human being should lead his life is given in this instruction manual, the glorious Quran.
For peace to prevail on earth in Peacemakers. Next on Peace TV.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulullah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers in Islam, and welcome back to the final episode of Happily Ever After, where we'll take you, inshallah, through the negative first, and hopefully we'll finish with the positive. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give us a good ending, ameen. Tayyib, we talked earlier about the 3 A's: avoid, alter, accept. The avoid is the removing the root cause analysis from your relationship period. Whatever it is, the 3 things that we talked about, the 3 top things that we talked about, is it financial, the mother-in-law, or the intimate relations? And we said we either do things about it, make some changes, or we talked about alternatives. As I have to make sure the lesser of both evil in this one to save it. Or if it's intimate relations, look, there are certain ways that we can do certain things. Go see a specialist, go see a therapist. Ask each other, why is this happening? Make sure you address issues, open up and communicate to one another. You're each other's end customer. That will please make sure that you speak, talk. You are apparently, you're not, by the way, number 1 reason for that is lack of communication. I'm just telling you because you have to speak to one another, inshallah. Okay, so avoiding that, ukhti, is the best. Now, the middle of the path where, you know what, I'm going to mop this or put a non-slip is the middle of the road. But the worst, of course, is to accept it. It's like, I can't do anything about it. Accept it meaning what? I accept to live miserably like this, or the other one is to get divorced. So I'm not going to do that because it's the last thing on my list. وَالصُّلْحُ خَيْرٌ. Reconciling is good. So when the couple comes to my office, says they want a divorce, it says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says reconciling is good. So I have to go through and work on all these, the things that we talked about it before. I said, Akhi and Ukhti, if you tell me that one of us will go to the morgue and one of us will go to the prison or the hospital, I will tell you, divorce your wife. Go ahead. Because unless they're both evil at this point. But have you tried everything? Did you listen to all the series? Did you talk about the solutions? Did you know about the secrets? Did you know about the sandwich thing? Did you know about the positive filters? Did you know about the 3 A's and all of these things? Did you know the rights and duties? Did you know about how to gain back, how to choose? You know why? Because they say one of the reasons that divorce happens is getting into marriage for the wrong reasons. Or choosing the wrong spouse. We don't heed to Quran and Sunnah. Or forced marriage. Or something like if you don't marry her, you know what? The emotional blackmail. Your mother will tell you, if you don't marry this girl, I'm going to be cursing you. I'll be angry with you till the day I die. I'm going to have a heart attack. That's an emotional blackmail. So getting married for the wrong reasons is one of the top reasons for divorce. What else is there? Lack of communication for sure. So I'm going to ask you, please talk to each other once in a while. So please, when I remember the Mayaf theory, the our time, the O time, is speak, talk, please communicate. Remember that. This is one of the reasons that we're telling you. We're going to end on a positive now. The aspects of it, the reasons for divorce, we know that. But before you think of divorce, what happens? I want you, ukhti and akhi, to think of whatever it takes to save this marriage. That's your attitude. And leave no rock unturned. And I want you to make sure you understand, can you bear see your husband or can you bear see your wife with someone else? If you can't bear it, then that means you still have something there for them. Your heart is still alive. There is a tick. Okay, that means your emotions are still alive. They're not dead. Not only that, I want you to think of the finance. You know how much it's going to cost you to go visit lawyers in the court case and how much you're going to lose in this? Why don't you invest this in a bit of a therapy and have a second honeymoon instead of spending this? Think about it. Also, when you get divorced, can you imagine somebody else raising your children now? Can you afford to do that? Can my daughter or my son be raised by somebody else? These are the issues I tell the couples before they decide to go to that extent. How about all the damage that's going to happen, especially your children? Believe it or not, you think that they're going to pay the price? The scholars will tell you, and the experts in the field, that they tell you that your children will pay the price till the last day in their lives from the divorce. So don't think that lightly. Okay? So please, start doing what? Forget the silent treatment. Start having the intimate relations. Start touching. Start coming back. Do little things for one another. Speak nicely about one another. I tell the couples before they leave my office, make sure you say 3 things that are good about your husband or 3 things that are good about your wife. So can I ask you to do a few things for me, please? I'm going to ask you to do a competition, okay? Very good. So I want you to have some boards and some cards and some pens and agree on certain questions. Have fun. Have a little game with each other. Okay? When was the last time we met? Okay? Now, if he says, yes, I remember this day, that week, that month, that year, at this time, at this house, and gives you specifics, and you were wearing this, I want you to put like a little bit of a candy in his jar, okay? And if he's the same, the candy in the jar. It's nice. Okay, if I get into your dreams, what will I see? Okay, so try, have fun with one another. You know, and then you write these questions you answer according to the opposite, of course, of the opposite spouse. What was the first thing that came into your mind when you first saw me? Okay? If according to your example, according to your personality, what nickname would I do it? What are the 3 things that you love about him? What are the 3 things you love about her? And all these things, ukhti, have this beautiful bond with one another. So please understand, little things mean a lot. Before you think of divorce, think of the consequences. But before you do that, find out the root cause analysis. What made you get here? Is the dryness and everything else that comes with it. So please make sure you reverse it. Spend that next time, not taking your husband for granted, not you saying, what's this, and losing that beautiful intimate relations before the touch. Start touching one another. You know, so you're watching something halal together, just to have your hand on her hand. It's a start. It may be awkward in the beginning because you're drifting apart, but that could be a start. You know, say something nice. I want you to start saying something nice about each other. You know, honey, I love you very much. And by the way, do me a favor, guys. When you ask for certain things from one another as a husband or wife, put your demands as a favor, not a command. You know what happens? Do this, do that, do that. Why? Can you do me a favor, honey? Please do a favor for me. Wow, yeah, I can do you a favor. And please start with the I, right? With the you know, I like it when you do this. It's not like, you know, I hate it when you do this. Subhanallah. When do we start when I hate it when you do this? I like it when you do this. Remember, we're talking the positive, not the negative. We don't accuse the person. We look at the behavior. All these things. For example, I want you to know what your wife likes and what your husband likes. You know, you're going shopping? So my wife likes Maltesers, for example, okay? Alhamdulillah. So you go shopping a little bit, you know what? Buy a little Maltesers for her. And, you know, on her bed, just leave it right there, inshallah. In the morning, I am making waffles. Okay, akhi, this woman looked after you for years. How about cooking breakfast for her one time? How would you like that? Okay? And beautiful flour. And do me a favor, I want you to do your best to come up with a beautiful poem. And a nice chocolate box that comes in. Come dressed nicely and like a prince. But I don't want this poem to look, you know, my heart is aching, my knees are shaking. It's true I ain't faking because she doesn't eat bacon. What? It's more than that, akhi. It's much more than that. She doesn't eat bacon. So inshallah, what I want you to do is start looking for that, things that made you love her for the first time, made you be attracted to her for the first time. Why did you say yes to this man, ukhti? Why did you say yes to this woman, akhi? Come back and revive and rekindle. Go on a holiday together. Take a break from the kids. And I mean that. Take a break from the kids. Because you know what? You look forward to having the second honeymoon. When? In this life. But the ultimate honeymoon is where? The ultimate honeymoon, as we said before, is in Jannah. Ya salam. With this, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to gather us in Jannah together as He gathers in the dunya and make your home a home sweet home. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you happy in this life and happily ever after. May Allah bless you for making us come to your home. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you happily ever after. Jazakumullah anna khaira. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
From this day on forever be true. Cherish this life that's destined for you. Live your life with kindness.